The Verge is reporting that the California Senate voted on Wednesday to approve a bill that would reinstate the net neutrality regulations that were recently repealed by the FCC, Ajit Pai. Now, the bill, SB 822, authored by Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco, had been introduced in March and passed through 3 different committees among party lines. The bill was approved 23-12 and now will head to the state assembly. Again, hopefully it is California, so I think it is likely to pass that state assembly. So this is basically California telling Ajit Pai to go FCC himself. And I love it. So this is just one of the ways that we're fighting back against the Trump FCC for gutting net neutrality. Now, the other way that they're fighting back, states are, is that 20 attorney generals are now suing the commission. So they're suing to block this rule. Hopefully that'll work. The Senate also passed a resolution of disapproval as part of the Congressional Review Act to try and basically restore these net neutrality protections. So look, this is good news, especially if you're in California. I kind of wish that my state would do the same thing, but we are solidly red, unfortunately. But nonetheless, if California doesn't, it is very possible that other states are definitely going to be able to follow suit. So what happens when 20 states go up against the Trump FCC? That's going to be a very, very interesting fight. Usually it's the federal government. If enough states get in there and actually put in their own net neutrality protections and actually go to court and fight this, then I think it is a good chance that we're going to have an argument that is going to be in favor of states' rights. I mean, look, Republicans, you're states' rights people, right? You're supposed to be. And most Republican voters are in favor of net neutrality protections. Well, you're going to have possibly people in the Republican base making that argument of states' rights, right? And in this case, states' rights. Now, the FCC rule says, well, you can't actually, as a state, go in and put in your own net neutrality rules. And so that's what the court case is going to be about. But again, I think the states have a pretty good case to make that this federal agency cannot supersede state laws. So we're going to see how that plays out. Now, as far as the California bill, it has actually been described as, quote, the gold standard. Well, let me read what it does. The bill, of course, would reinstate rules similar to those in the FCC's 2015 Open Internet Order. It forbids ISPs from throttling or blocking online content and requires them to treat all internet traffic equally. Now, the bill also takes the original rules further. Now, how is that? Well, it would actually ban providers from participating in some types of zero-rating programs in which certain favored content doesn't contribute to monthly data caps. So that is important because, look, that gives one content provider an advantage in the marketplace. Well, my content doesn't hit your data cap, doesn't go towards your data cap. So that's why you should go with me. You get an advantage. Well, that is an unfair advantage. If one company can do it and the other can't, and they can advertise that, well, then one company is going to end up getting more traffic. That is not exactly a fair and equal internet. So it's actually really good that California is going to tamp down on that. Now, the Electronic Frontier Foundation released a statement on Tuesday that said that this bill was a gold standard for states looking to protect net neutrality. So again, this is a really good piece of legislation. Now, if the bill goes on to pass in the Assembly, providers will also no longer be able to obtain government contracts in the state of California without obeying these regulations. That is another very, very strong piece of this bill. And I think it is very likely to get through California and hopefully get signed into law. I would love to see that. If you really stand for net neutrality, then this is the piece of legislation that needs to go through. And California can stand as an example for a lot of these other states who are also considering drafting their own rules. Now, so far, California would be following Washington and Oregon and passing their own net neutrality laws. Now, again, that's 3 states. More will hopefully follow suit. I want to see a lot of states go and do this because, again, most Americans, both liberals and conservatives, independents, doesn't matter. We all cherish a free and open internet. And actually, these rules, the net neutrality rules, are actually conservative when you think about it because it doesn't allow the government to interfere. The government is just setting ground rules for business as it is allowed to do. It sets ground rules for other businesses, and now it's just basically enforcing neutrality online. And those are popular rules because, look, nobody wants to get screwed over by their ISP. Nobody wants to pay more for internet access. We already pay an arm and a leg thanks to regional monopolies. So why would you be against net neutrality rules? Well, the only reason you would be is if you're a giant corporation that's going to make millions of dollars blocking and throttling and also putting your own services above your competitors. And that's what this is really all about. So understand that this isn't about freedom, these repealing net neutrality rules. It was about corporate dominance and control. And so California is taking a big step, and these states, Washington and Oregon, are also taking big steps to be able to even the playing field or keep the playing field even for everybody on the internet. They're the ones that actually stand for real internet freedom. So hopefully California can join the rest. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.